Now on Sunrise and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, some Cuero businesses are left picking up the pieces after criminal mischief over the weekend. And a violent arrest in Florida. New body cam footage being released of a hard-to-watch arrest. Plus, hundreds of thousands of pages of documents related to the assassination of MLK are released.
And ooh, the heat is going to be on over the next few days. We have high pressure moving quite literally on our doorstep, and now triple digits appear likely in the Crossroads. But if the heat is not for you, we have rain chances coming back this weekend. We'll have all that in the weather coming up.
Good morning, Crossroads, and we have the results from the Victoria Northeast All-Stars as they represented Texas East in the Southwest Regional Tournament. See how they did coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning, Crossroads. Happy Tuesday morning.
Happy Tuesday.
But we got to be careful this Tuesday, especially with the heat. We've got to think about people, plants, pets. Be sure to check the back seat of your car. And Parker, what else do we need to worry about? Are we going to be able to bake cookies outside with these triple digits, or it's too humid?
You know, I don't know if we're at the heat criteria yet to start baking stuff outside. We are going to be hot over the next few days. Let me remind y'all, we're going to look at that here in just a second because first things first, we actually got a very nice sunrise coming over the coast this morning. For Victoria, we got some pink in the sky right now, but we're real warm and humid out there like we always are at summertime. Y'all get used to this. 75 is what we're starting at for the air temperature in Victoria. Dew point 74, bringing humidity to the high 96%. Now, technically, underneath that high humidity, you would normally see a little bit of light fog with calm winds added, but right now, you just saw on the camera, it's not super foggy. We actually have high pressure pretty much right nearby, just off the coast of Houston, providing us with mixing. So don't worry about fog this morning. Temperatures, though, I need y'all to worry about that. More importantly, for the rest of today, everybody right now up mid and upper 70s, even some low and mid 80s on the coast right now, next to that warm 85-degree Gulf water right now. But with the humidity so high and temperatures already warm, we already have heated the seas and the sun hasn't come up yet. But today the sun is going to definitely come up with some more mostly sunny skies. Weather going to be pretty much just like yesterday. Heated the seas up to 113. We'll have all those details coming up next.
Cuero police are investigating a string of broken windows in the downtown area. Cuero Police Chief Stephen Ellis says the windows were broken over the weekend. A total of 6 businesses impacted in the vicinity of Church, Gonzales, and Esplanade Streets. No reports of anything taken or any other vandalism done. Chief Ellis says they have a suspect in mind, but they have several more leads to follow up before they can confirm. If you have any information, contact the Cuero Police Department at 361-275-3552. There is no timeline for when the Victoria Driver's License Office will reopen. It's been closed for 9 months for mold cleanup. DPS officials say the fix will cost more than $327,000. If you need in-person help, you'll have to visit the DPS office in Cuero or Port Lavaca, where Victoria staff are helping out. You can book an appointment online or call DPS customer service for help scheduling. Some Republicans are joining Democrats to try to override House Speaker Mike Johnson. They aim to force a House vote on releasing more Epstein files, which seems likely to succeed. This would allow lawmakers to decide on giving the Trump administration 30 days to release unclassified materials. The discharge petition is from Republican Thomas Massie and Democrat Ro Khanna. It needs 218 signatures, with Democrats able to provide all but 6. The petition must wait until after the 5-week August recess due to procedural rules. Now to the violent arrest caught on camera in Florida and authorities defending the officer's actions. We want to warn you, some will find it hard to watch. ABC's Rhiannon Alley has the details.
Exit the vehicle now! Exit the vehicle!
The Jacksonville, Florida Sheriff's Office has now released body camera video of this violent arrest back in February, insisting the officers did nothing criminal. The suspect, 22-year-old William McNeil, also recorded video during the traffic stop.
And then there's no rain.
It doesn't matter.
You're still required to have headlights on.
In his video, he can be seen arguing with officers before one breaks his window, punches him, and pulls him from the car, hitting him again.
He was very confused as to why he was being pulled over for not having headlights on during the day.
But police say that video tells only part of the story.
Give me your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
Call your supervisor.
In the newly released police body cam video, an officer is seen arguing with McNeil after pulling him over for not having his lights on in the rain. McNeil then locks himself inside as the officer repeatedly orders him to exit the car.
Sir, this is your last warning to open the vehicle and exit before we're going to break the window.
Bro, I didn't do nothing.
It's called resisting, idiot.
There absolutely was force used by the arresting officers, and yes, that force is ugly. And just because force is ugly does not mean it's unlawful.
In the police report, an officer claimed McNeil was reaching for a knife. McNeil's lawyers deny that.
We watched the video, and that did not happen.
McNeil says the incident left him with a chipped tooth and wounds requiring 9 stitches. Despite the deputies being cleared criminally, an internal investigation into their conduct is underway.
Court records show McNeil was charged with resisting arrest without violence, as well as driving with a suspended license. He served 2 days in jail, and he has not said whether he plans to sue. Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
The Trump administration has released over 240,000 pages of records on the 1968 assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., despite his family's opposition. The records had been under a court seal since 1977. King's family, including his 2 living children, were notified in advance and had their own teams review the documents before public release. President Trump signed an executive order in January to declassify the records. It's still unclear if the documents will reveal new information about the tragedy. And that leads us to your viewer poll. We want to know, do you think the newly released documents will reveal new information about MLK's death? 45% of you say yes, and 55% of you say no. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. And remember to follow us on YouTube, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click that notification bell. The time now, let's get a look at our clock. It is now 6:38 on our Tuesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up next on 25 News Now Sunrise. Big changes are coming to the banking scene in the Crossroads.
This morning, mounting pressure on the White House to release the full Jeffrey Epstein files. I'm Nicole D'Antonio in Washington with details and how President Trump is responding.
And also coming up next after the break in the short-term forecast, you heard me say that it's going to be another hot day all across Texas before the real heat gets here. So coming up next, I'll tell you just how hot I think it'll be near you. Well, good morning, Crossroads, and happy Taco Tuesday. For your Tuesday, we're going to have weather just about the same, pretty much near the same as yesterday's weather. And we're talking in terms of the cloud cover, the humidity, the temperatures, even the rain chances, and also our wind speeds. You're looking at yesterday's weather, actually, we got up to a high of 97 degrees. At 1:51 p.m. in the afternoon, that's about a degree warmer than what I was thinking. I was thinking 96 because we were expecting 25 mile-an-hour gust, but we ended up with 20. So we ended up warming just a little bit more with lighter winds. But for today, we're going to have about the exact same thing. I'm thinking mostly sunny skies. With today, however, we're going to have a very low 5%, single digits, 5% chance to see maybe a few sprinkles. We're talking not even a few showers, a few sprinkles in the morning hours. Somewhere all the way up until about 9 or 10 a.m. we'll have a few sprinkles around the area before that clears up. And our clouds are going to be also on the clearing, on the decrease all day, all the way down to mostly sunny and pretty much sunny for the later afternoon time. I know it looks mostly cloudy right here, but just like yesterday, that's going to be upper level, thin, the kind of milky, wispy cirrus clouds. So it's going to be mostly sunny underneath that, and that's going to heat us up to about 97. Like I said, just like yesterday, right here in Victoria, looking at today's almanac, that's right where we should be, 95 average this time of year, and a record on this time of year is 104, set only back in 2023, 2 years ago. But in the background, we are going to have some moderate humidity that will still be with us in the mid-afternoon, bringing heat indices along the coast between 109 to 113, but inland counties from Highway 59 and north, we're going to be between 105 to 109, but that's only going to get hotter over the next few days with high pressure building on top of us. But if that's not for you, we have rain chances to talk about this weekend, and that's coming up next.
Good news continues to come out of Seguin, Texas for Victoria Northeast as their Senior Little League is headed back to the World Series for the second consecutive year. The Victoria Northeast All-Stars will represent Texas East after beating Texas West Laredo yesterday, the final score of 6-0. Another impressive defensive showing as the All-Stars are leaving Wednesday morning to continue their season. And in some high school football news, both Cuero and all your Crossroads schools could potentially play their state championship games at a different stadium in 2026. That's right, we may not be back at Jerry's World as the UIL has yet to finalize the state championship venue beyond 2025. This comes amid renewed debate over the regional rotation. AT&T Stadium has hosted the UIL state championships since 2011 with the exception of 2015 when the NRG Stadium in Houston was the host. This year marks their last committed season at Jerry's World. In addition to the NRG and AT&T Stadium, the San Antonio Alamodome is also a possibility. There is also no timeline when the host will be finalized. But make sure you stay tuned on KAVU as when they renew a contract and we will have a new host revealed, we will be sure to update you guys. But that does it for your 25 News Now Sports. Until next time, I'm Ray Robinson.
Now to the latest on the Jeffrey Epstein files. This morning, the House is now struggling to figure out next steps as President Trump appears to be eager to change the subject and discuss anything but Epstein. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio is in Washington with details.
This morning, President Trump appears eager to change the subject away from sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. On his social media platform, firing off a number of posts on a wide range of topics, including the murder case involving Bryan Kohberger, attacking the judge overseeing the government's legal fight with Harvard, and also demanding that the Washington Commanders change their name back to the Washington Redskins. Critics even accuse the administration of releasing thousands of documents relating to the Martin Luther King assassination in an attempt to distract attention, which brought this reaction from King's daughter on social media, saying, quote, "Now do the Epstein files." Former Republican Congressman Joe Walsh, who ran against the president in 2020, posting on social media that, quote, "Trump is scared to death of the Epstein files." The president also ordered the Justice Department to ask the courts to release the grand jury testimony in the case, but stopped short of telling the Justice Department to release all the files. ABC's Mary Bruce pressed the White House for an explanation.
Why hasn't the president just ordered the FBI to release the full Epstein files, just get it all out there?
The president has said if the Department of Justice and the FBI want to move forward with releasing any further credible evidence, they should do so. As to why they have or have not or will, you should ask the FBI.
But does he still anticipate releasing more information, Caroline?
It's up to the Attorney General.
On Capitol Hill, the Epstein firestorm now paralyzing lawmakers for a second week. The GOP-led Rules Committee came to a halt Monday when Democrats announced they plan to force a committee vote on bipartisan legislation that would call for the release of the Epstein files. Republicans on the panel deciding to recess the meeting. Majority Leader Steve Scalise now saying it's unlikely the Rules Committee would reconvene this week, instead waiting until after the August recess. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
One of the biggest banks in the Crossroads is set to grow even more in the next few months. Prosperity Bank is merging with American Bank, with the merger leading to Prosperity taking over American Bank's 20 offices. The total deal is worth about $321 million. Prosperity Bank has 5 offices in Victoria. Officials tell us with the merger, Houston-based Prosperity will be the #1 bank in Corpus Christi and one of the top 5 banks in Texas. The merger should be completed by the end of this year or early 2026.
Relative to this South Texas area is we already have a very strong market presence in the greater Victoria area. Acquiring their 1 branch bank here in town and their 2 lenders and their retail staff is going to be big.
Prosperity Bank currently operates 283 full-service banking locations in Texas, and it's already the largest agricultural bank in the state. The time now, let's get a look at our clock up here. It is 6:46 on our Tuesday morning, still to come on Sunrise. The stock markets are hitting new highs again as trading kicks off this morning. All right, it's time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Alex. Happy 12th birthday, Alex. We love you so much. Love Dad, Mom, and Audrey.
Oh, happy birthday, Alex. And you may know her for hits like Come and Get It, or for her numerous acting credits, including Only Murders in the Building. Either way, Selena Gomez is turning 33 today. Happy birthday, Selena. And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, you can come to crossroadstoday.com. Click the drop-down menu, then click the Home tab, and then you'll see Submit Your Birthday Photo.
All right, the time is now 6:47 on our Tuesday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today.
That's right, happy birthday. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, Crossroads. I'm sure a lot of y'all saw that 7-day forecast a few moments ago, and you're probably saying to yourself, hold on, can we not get that hot, please? Well, unfortunately, it's looking like that over the next few days. We're going to be reaching highs in the Crossroads back into the upper 90s, with some of us tempted to hit the low 100s, and actually I think some of us will hit the low 100s on Thursday. Some of us might on Wednesday, because we've got this high pressure system both at the surface and about a mile high in the sky, moving quite literally right on our doorstep. We're talking, here's Thursday, you can see possibly 100 degrees here around Victoria County. Northwestern and western counties might be in the low 100s. We're talking as high as 102 to 103 degrees, so y'all please stay cool and hydrated. Now, if the heat is not for you, I know this is the hottest time of the year, so this is right where we should be. It's late July, beginning August soon. Well, we have heat relief coming our way. It's going to come in the form of rain chances this weekend. All of that coming off of that little tropical nonsense right there in the Gulf, to which I have lower chances on that forming all the way down to a mere 2%. So very, very unlikely that we're going to see any kind of tropical spin up out of this, because what we're tracking is an upper level low trough, an upper level low pressure system. It's correcting from yesterday. I said it was a tropical wave. It's not a wave, but it is going to be bringing us rain chances as it skirts right across the Florida Peninsula and into the western, northwestern Gulf, and then finally spinning right through us as we go into later this week on Friday, with our rain chances first getting here Friday night overnight into Saturday morning, and then sticking with us all through Saturday at 30%. And we're going to look at all of that and more later on Sunrise.
Now to the tragic death of actor Malcolm Jamal Warner, best known for playing Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show. He drowned while on a family vacation. He was just 54. And now Bill Cosby is remembering his TV son. Here's ABC's Lionel Moise.
Malcolm Jamal Warner played Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show for 8 seasons. The role was loosely based on Bill Cosby's son Ennis, who died in 1997. Cosby spoke last night to ABC's Lindsay Davis.
How will you remember him?
Like Ennis. Truthful, and he knew when to just walk away from a conversation without being rude. Malcolm did his best. He was always a great studier, and I enjoyed working with him very much.
Bill Cosby has been accused by multiple women of sexual assault and sexual harassment. He served 3 years in prison after being convicted of sexual assault in 2018, but that conviction was overturned and he maintained his innocence. He says he and Warner stayed in touch, and Cosby praised Warner's work ethic.
He always knew his lines, and he always knew where to go.
Authorities say Warner drowned here in Costa Rica while on a family vacation after getting caught in a rip current while swimming. Bystanders trying to rescue him, but it was too late. Warner's career extended far beyond The Cosby Show. He went on to star in several other shows, including Sons of Anarchy and The Resident. Warner won a Grammy in 2015, and he recently hosted a podcast.
I've had such an awesome life. You know, I mean, like I'm literally, you know, I've got my ups and downs and all of that. But like, if I die tomorrow, I know I would go with a smile on my face.
Warner is survived by his wife and daughter, whose identities he kept out of the spotlight. Lionel Moise, ABC News, New York.
Turning now to business news, new records for the stock market. Both the S&P and NASDAQ head into this morning's trading after another record close. The S&P finished 0.1% higher, while the Nasdaq added nearly 0.4%. The Dow closed essentially flat. Tech companies including Alphabet, Amazon, Apple, and Verizon leading the way. Carmaker Stellantis now says it lost $2.7 billion in the first half of the year. It says President Trump's tariffs wiped out around $350 million from its bottom line, and the effect could be worse for the second half of the year. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. If you have an above-ground pool at home, we have a story that's important for you to hear. You need to listen up if you have an above-ground pool in your backyard. Millions are being recalled after several children have drowned. The pools made by Bestway, Intex, and Polygroup have a compression strap that surrounds the outside of the pool. The strap can serve as footholds for children, allowing them to climb into the pool even if the ladder is removed. The pools were sold in major retailers such as Walmart and Target, as well as online. Protesters gathered Monday outside the Ed Sullivan Theater, where The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is taped. But these people angry at the show's cancellation aren't necessarily fans. A group called Refuse Fascism led the demonstration. Its leader suggests CBS may have canceled the show due to pressure from the Trump administration. Earlier this month, CBS parent company Paramount decided to settle a $16 million lawsuit filed by Trump. CBS says the decision was purely financial. The Trump administration can't defund certain Planned Parenthood clinics until the organization's lawsuit plays out. On Monday, a U.S. district judge extended an existing injunction blocking the same enforcement. The judge issued that 14 days ago, but it was temporary and about to expire. The ruling only protects Planned Parenthood members who cannot provide abortions because of state bans, and also those who receive less than $800,000 in Medicaid reimbursements in 2023. Don't miss episode 14 of Let's Grow Texas Ag. Catch it on KMOL at 6:30 p.m. Wednesday and on KXTS at 10 p.m. Friday. So don't forget to join us as we continue to dive into local agriculture. And we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. And now let's get a final look at our sunrise with Parker. Parker, how's that looking out there?
Well, it's looking mighty pretty this morning, Carolina, like it always does. I'm gonna step out of the way so you can see that sunrise. Look at all the colors on the coast. Right now, we can see some blue, we can see some yellow. I think I even see some green mixing with the blue and yellow. Got some pink and red, orange, all kinds of pretty colors out there this morning. And if you're headed out the door, maybe to go see that sunrise, apply some hairspray because it's real humid this morning. 79 is the air temperature in Port Lavaca, dew point 78, only a degree away, bringing humidity to 96%. And normally underneath that high humidity, we would see a little bit of light fog. You just saw there's none of that on the camera. That's because we have high pressure nearby. And we're talking like right off the doorstep of Houston. And that's going to heat us up over the next few days. You also get ready. Today we're looking for a high of 95 in Port Lavaca, low 90s already at noontime. A bit warmer in Victoria. I'm thinking 97 today with heat indices in our inland counties up to 105 to 109. On the coast, it's going to be 109 to 113. So stay hydrated. A little bit warmer in Cuero, 98 today, but if that's not warm enough, like I said, y'all just wait. Over the next few days, the real Texas July heat is on the way. Not extremely hot, but we are going to be in the upper 90s with some of us pushing for the low 100s.
All right, thank you, Parker, and thank y'all for being with us this morning. Join Shauna, Dawn, Maclovia, and Max today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10. Make it a cool Tuesday.
I agree.